A draft of the teams that didn't make the playoffs last year, most likely to crash the party, including the Denver Broncos, who now have Russell Wilson. Shefty reports that the Broncos and Wilson have reached an agreement on a 5-year, $245 million extension. That's $49 million per year in new money for Russell Wilson. In all, it's 7 years and $296 million when you factor in the 2 remaining years that he had. Here's the key, though. $165 million guaranteed. Not fully guaranteed. We know that game.
Yeah.
The reporters who get the heads up will never minimize the value of the deal by saying it's not $165 million fully guaranteed. It's just guaranteed, and there's a difference. It's what's guaranteed at signing that's really important. So the number's going to be even less than that. I'm surprised. 2 things. I'm surprised Wilson didn't get a fully guaranteed contract because the new owners in Denver can afford to put the money in escrow. And number 2, no percentage of the salary cap. He signed for 7 years into the future. And when you do 296 divided by 7, it's 45-ish, maybe. In a few years, that's a 7-year commitment. In a few years, that contract's not going to look very good, given the way the market's going, Chris.
No, I hear you. It doesn't, but I think it's still one of those things. Like we've talked about Lamar Jackson. He's going, wait, to have this in hand right now, and in case I got hurt, there's great security there for sure. You know, this is huge money regardless. And probably a guy that's gone, wait, I've made pretty good money to this point in my career, and I make a ton of money off the field too, to where he goes, okay, you know, he's not, and again, I know it's his right. I'm not mad at him, but he's, you know, probably thinking about the team a little bit, going, well, I'd like to have Cortland Sutton here if he's balls out this year and shows that he's one of the, you know, top receivers in the game, Jerry Jeudy in the future. So maybe that's the aspect he's looking at. But, you know, not shocked to hear this, even though it kind of comes out of nowhere. He didn't hear any rumors that it was going to happen. We knew this was inevitable with what they traded for him, and there's just not a lot of quarterbacks in football that are like Russell Wilson. So you make this happen.
And the question is, do you wait a year or do you do it now? And there's pros and cons. And from the Broncos' perspective, it's going to get more expensive next year if you get through a great season with Russell Wilson. From Wilson's perspective, if he would get injured or have a bad year, does he have less leverage? I don't know how much less leverage he has. They've already made the commitment to get him. As to the fully guaranteed contract, I'm surprised that there wasn't an insistence by agent Mark Rogers, the Tom Hagen of the NFL, who has one client, a specialized practice. I have only one client, but that allows him to really push as hard as he can for that one client. I thought it would be a given he'd get a fully guaranteed deal. But you know what the flip side is? You got new ownership that just got approved. The last thing they want to do is piss off their partners. And we know that would piss off the partners.
That's right.
That would be frowned upon to have another fully guaranteed contract. And you know who's going to send the Walton Penner Group the biggest fruit basket and box of cigars is Steve Bisciotti.
The Ravens, right.
Because now it makes it easier for him to hold firm, and even more important for him to hold firm on not giving Lamar Jackson a fully guaranteed deal.
Yeah, it's interesting. It is, you know. But still, that Deshaun Watson deal is there no matter what. And Lamar can hang on that. And Lamar can also go, you know.
But it's harder to do it when you've got 2 now since then.
Yeah.
You know, once is an accident, twice is a trend.
Right.
Now you've got Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson who
it
have
puts
gotten
pressure.
Contracts without it makes it without an agent. That's the problem. It may make it harder for the Ravens to get a deal done, Chris, because Lamar may say, "I don't care what Russell Wilson did.
Well, it could.
I don't care what Kyler Murray did. I want what Deshaun Watson got."
It puts pressure. I do, you know. I mean, we're just finding this out here in live time here, but as I think about it too, it puts, I think, actually more pressure on Lamar. You know, one, hey, the Kyler Murray deal, he can go, so what? That's Kyler Murray. He hasn't done what I've done. He's not there in my class yet. All right. Russell Wilson, people are going to go, no, he is in your class. He's been to 2 Super Bowls. He's been damn good, right? I know he hasn't won an MVP like Lamar, but he also wasn't in an offense that was all about him either. So that's where, and then we know that Lamar Jackson was offered more guaranteed money than Russell Wilson. So that is going to make, you know, the public opinions, talking heads go to Lamar, wait, what are you doing? You think you're better than Russell Wilson? Why this? Why that? And I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm just saying I do think it's going to add a little fuel to the fire as far as Lamar's concerned.
Yeah, I think it's going to make it harder, not easier for a deal to get done unless Lamar Jackson, remember we did this the other day, Lamar go hire an agent. All the more reason to hire an agent. And you know what may have happened here? You've got what the agent would have wanted for Russell Wilson, but then you've got what the Broncos were willing to put on the table. At some point, you have to set aside what you want as the advocate, and you have to play the role of counselor and say to the client, you know what? It's a pretty good deal. Kind of hard to walk away from this.
Yeah.
You're already set for life. This is it. This is it, man. This is the deal. And here's the reality. And Russell Wilson falls into this category. For most franchise quarterbacks, it doesn't matter if it's not fully guaranteed. They're still going to make the money. They're not getting cut. That's the key.
No time soon.
Lamar Jackson is the guy who's at the risk of the team saying we have to move on because you're too banged up and you can't play anymore.
Yeah.
And maybe Russell Wilson, as he gets deeper into his 30s, that's going to be part of the challenge, but he's comfortable with that because most of the time with these big money franchise contracts, Chris, the guy cashes every check. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.